Last week in the JBL Cup Series, we went dirt track racing for the first time ever in a points-paying race, and what a wild race it was. Had 5 cautions and a great battle for second, but Anna Miller got his 3rd win on the season, and we might see a Joe Witkowski Type 1 like last season, or someone ends up being the car to beat. Can Anna Miller get his 4th win in 12 races here tonight? We just have to wait and see. It is race number 12 of the season. 7 races remain until the chase. And oh yeah, this is the final race before the All-Star break. And we'll see if anyone can win and get themselves into the All-Star race the easy way. It is race 12 of the season. And the Textron Aviation 400 underneath the lights at Kansas Speedway. What's up everyone, it's your boy NS Racing 97, aka Nathan Stapleton here, and welcome to Kansas Speedway underneath the lights this time. And we've gone back and forth, but I think we might have found a version to stick with here in the JBL Cup Series, and you will see why. I think we are going to have a fun night here underneath the lights, and it's going to be a fun one to see what ends up happening. It's been a fantastic season up to this point, but I think the lanes are starting to stack up, and we're starting to see maybe some of the dominant drivers that we will see all summer long as we get closer to the chase. We got LT back up here in the booth for this one, and welcome to race 12 of the season.
Thanks for having me up here again, Nathan. It's great to be in the sunflower state of Kansas and to be able to call this race at Kansas Speedway. Now, this is our 7th Speedway race this season, so these drivers and teams should have a great feel for what they got at this particular track type. Like, every track is unique, but I feel like most of these teams can take what they learned from previous races this season, such as Vegas and even Homestead, and maybe apply that to the setup of the car today, right? So I'll look for the people that have dominated speedways this season to be real contenders today, such as Stuart Grant. He's got 2 wins on speedways. He's finished 6 or better in 4 out of the 6 speedway races we have ran. Andrew Miller, like you mentioned, last week's winner at Knoxville, he has finished in the top 2 in the last 2 speedway races. And obviously you can't count out someone like Jordan Edwards, Mr. Consistent, right? To be a threat for the win. So you never know when someone, especially those drivers, like you mentioned, trying to get into the All-Star race, can rise to the occasion and maybe surprise us.
Oh yeah, it's going to be a very interesting night. Now see if some of the drivers that we've expect to really see at one of these speedways all season long continue, or if we see a little bit of a dark horse get the job done here tonight. And one of the drivers that needs a win to make it into the All-Star race the easy way, so it's 5th here tonight, that is Duncan Wood. He's starting to move up his way in the point standings, 19th in the point standings now. He needs a good one. Crampton needs a good one, same with Dio. So there's quite a few drives up to the front, even on Miles, he needs a good one if he wants to make it into the All-Star race. And the easiest way to make it into the All-Star race is winning here tonight. And then you basically have to rely on the All-Star Open, and then somehow the All-Star fan vote. So this is the easiest way. It might not be the easiest way, but it technically is just when you get at Kansas Speedway. But enough about the All-Star race for now. This is race 12 of the season already. After tonight and after the All-Star break, it will only be 6 races to go until we get to the season 6 chase. You got the point standings on the screen. Is fairly tight up top, fairly tight around the cutoff line. What do those drivers around the cutoff line that some big names need to do here tonight?
They definitely need to be careful, but also have to be aggressive. So I guess that doesn't really make sense, but you need a points race, but you also need to finish well, right? You see people on the cut line, such as Trey Bono, right? He's very close to the cut line. He's 10 out. Sam Vitale has the wild card. Hubert has the wild card. But you have people like Aaron Abel, Matthew Burnett, Alexander Rowe, Travis Crampton, who I'm surprised isn't even in the top 10 in points. These guys really have to have a great run here tonight and then continue that on into the following races leading up into the chase.
Absolutely. And of course, Crampton, he was top 12, top 15 in points before Knoxville, but lost multiple positions, and that is what happens here. It's still very, very tight. And it's been a parity type season here in the JBL Cup Series. Jordan Edwards is leading the point standings. He has a 3-point lead over Anna Miller and is 66 points above the cutoff line. Anna Miller last week's winner, 3 wins on his resume this year. He has 63 points above the qualifying. Local Dawn is in third, 56 above. Stuart Ground is in fourth, 54 above. Local Williams is in fifth, 52 above. And Local Williams, he could be a driver that around this time last year, he won Kansas, and then he really was strong throughout the summer, and he could do that here tonight again. And then Jordan Stout, our poster here tonight, is only 23 above the cutoff line. Juan Connington is only 22 above. Sam Deal plus 21. Juan Garcia plus 17. And John Anders is plus 10. Trey Bell with minus 10. And then, like LT said, Sam Vitale and Hubert have the 2 wildcards as of now. Sam Vitale minus 12. Wildcard number 1. And then Aaron Abel 13th. Minus 17. Tyler Hubert almost also minus 17, but has wildcard number 2. But now he's starting to get the hang of things here. And that 20 machine starts slow, but he's on the move. He's only 21 points out now. Alexander Talladega, he is in the wild card picture in the battle with Sam Vitale, Hubert, and himself. And besides that, everyone else has one is inside the top 10 in the point standings. Travis Crampton had a bad night. Terrible night at Knoxville, to say the least. He's minus 36 now. And 17, Nick Lopez is in 18th, minus 40. Below the qualifying, Duncan Ward, minus 19. Well, is in 19th, minus 42. And then Justin Zidell in 20th, minus 43. And then some of these names outside the top 20 are stunning. Joe Witkowski is outside the top 20. Dylan Matthews, Noah Clifton, Zachary Fitzwater, Eli Blight, just to name a few. And that's just been the parity, but on the poll here tonight, it is Jordan Stout, the Daytona 500 champ, and the last time is Andy Miller 20 gets 4th win on the season. And for reference, the only other driver with multiple wins this season is Stuart Gratton. Matthew Hubert, who won at Homestead, and Nicholas Samadeo in 4th. Duncan Wood and Travis Crampton in row 3. Row 4, Eli Boyd, and how about Owen Moss with a good qualifying 1. And then rounding out the top 10 is number 3 of Local Dawn, and the number 12 of Alex Sam Vitale. And it's going to be a wild race here at Kansas Speedway. Don't know what to really expect, but could see a little bit of everything. I'm going to put you on the spot, LT. Who do you think will win the final race before the chase? And who do you think will win race 12 of the season?
This is a tough one, Nathan, but my pick to win at Kansas today is going to be Trey Bardo. Now, he's starting 27th, so that was a far ways back. But I mentioned this to Rockingham when I was in the booth, but his season has been sort of in the shadow of his teammate Jordan Edwards. As a known stat nerd I am, I was fascinated to really see his stats at Speedways. He has the 5th best average finish on Speedways, and that would be even better if he wasn't involved in that big one at Rockingham, right? So, and I think he was running 4th in that race. So he's finished 9th or better in the last 5 Speedway races, so I think today is the day that he finally breaks through and scores a victory here at Kansas.
Well, we'll see if Trey Bell can get the job done. We got some big names starting in the bat, like Logan Williams, who is 50 points. But the key thing is that you want to be on this inside lane here tonight. He's got the one up high, but to make passes, it is on the inside in the middle. So we'll see what ends up happening. And it is Jordan Stout and Andy Miller leading us to the green. Race 12 already of the Season 6 JBL Cup Series season, and we're green flag racing for the Textron Aviation 400 underneath the lights at Kansas Speedway. I mentioned the inside lanes really want to be to make passes. They would one high, try different lanes, but the inside lanes really want to make passes. And Eli Blight with a lot of moves early on up to 2nd, but Local Dawn gonna try and challenge for the 2nd place position. And Local Dawn trying to get his 2nd win on the season. And we'll see what he can do here underneath the lights. And he's gonna go from 2nd and maybe go for the race lead here on that number 2.
Very impressive start by Eli Bright. He went from 7th to 2nd in just 2 corners, so he really fired off on that start of the race. But 3-car of Rogel Dorn taking the lead off of Jordan Stout. Looked like Nick Lopez looking to the inside of the 31 of Owen Miles, who's trying to get into the All-Star race, so he's racing his heart out. His colleague teammate up there, Jordan Edwards almost getting into the 31 of Owen Miles off of turn number 2, Nathan.
That was a little bit close, and turn 2 and turn 4 are going to be fairly sketchy, but especially off turn 4. And you kind of see the way that they are running, and they kind of get tired off turn 4 like all models did right there. And then that forces them to slow down, kind of run down the apron to avoid it. And this is going to be nothing like we've seen for any other Kansas races we've seen on the channel, that's for sure. And John Andrews making a move. Look at Wilkowski trying that third lane. I did not know that was possible. He's going to make it work and get past both of them. Maybe, but still Grant's going to get the one in the bottom. It looks like the outside lane is competitive in 1 and 2, but it is dead in 3 and 4 as we got skid most of the turn 4. No caution though, and it looks like it might have been Kyle Sustride in 17.
Tyler Sustride definitely not having a season to remember. I think his best finish is 20th this season. Actually, no, he's finished 13th at Willow Springs, but still not a season he's been looking for. I wonder what happened there, but 34, we see here, John Andrews, he's having a whale of a season. He finished 7th at Knoxville, so he's trying to build some momentum going into these final 6 races into the regular season. 11 car of Aaron Abel. Man, Stuart Gret. Oh, man.
He might go into the wall a little bit.
Yeah, he scraped it. I thought he was going to get stuck up there, but he's going to lose some spots out of that.
Oh, my goodness. How about Nick Lopez? A struggling start, and now he's going to take that second spot, or not second, but third spot. And like I said, turn 3 and 4, you don't want to be on the outside lane. Maybe not too bad in 1 and 2 here tonight, but Jordan Stout is dropping back. And on top of everything here, we also have a 1.5 second tire fall. So it's going to be important to have a long run car, but a short run car is Will Goodwin. He has a 1 second lead already, but John Andrews is flying, and he's up to second now for Front Row Motorsports. A slow start, but both cars are inside the top 10 now in points, and a win might be on the horizon at any given moment for the 34 or the 38. Eli Boy is at a up and down season, and able to the inside. Look at all this chaos inside the top 10 as Dorn is pulling away early on.
This is some great racing, side-by-side battles. Oh no, we got lap car of Sustry. Looks like he's coming out of pit road. He's gonna hold up these guys. Looks like Jordan Stout will get to the inside, luckily. Looks like the 17 is up to pace, so he doesn't look to be too much damaged. Just hopefully he gets out of the way of these guys. Oh, well, he's really getting out of the way on the top side, almost into the wall. But yeah, aggressive racing early on. We love to see that. But these guys got to take care of their tires too, because obviously we could have had that caution early, but we didn't. So we might go the full ways here in this tire and fuel window. So you got to take care of your stuff. But these guys don't look like they're taking care of it. They're racing their hearts out right now.
Oh yeah, they are definitely racing here early on. And oh boy, some close moments already. But how about Toyota? They kind of struggled this season, but Aaron Abel is in third. Eli Boyd in fourth. Nick Lopez in fifth, and Amon Connington is in sixth. And then not too far beyond, you got Wilkowski inside the top 10 as well, and comes Jordan Edwards in the number 9 machine. He's making some moves inside the top 10 now. Same with Tale, and same with Dio as well. Trey Ball, he's still kind of deep in the field here in the 24. Looks like he's in 20th, so not too bad, but not great either. But it's all local doing, has a 1.5 second lead, and we'll just focus on all these guys in second, because I think local one either has this fast of a car, or he just is blowing up his stuff and he might get caught on the long one here. Let's see here, it's going to be 1.4 to 1.5, so still gaining a 10th last time by. But great ones from John Andrews and Abel, who needs it, Eli Blight, Nick Lopez, and Ronald Kennington as well.
Yeah, Ronald Kennington definitely does not want to see me in the booth. The last few times I was calling races, he has blown a tire. So hopefully he has tires that last, and he doesn't blow a tire this time around. Hopefully you get a good finish, and we don't jinx him. He deserves a good finish here. He's on the back bumper of his teammate. Ooh, just backed off there. Maybe he's kind of scared of getting back into him, but 5-car Hubert going to take advantage of that and go to the inside of Kennington. And looks like he'll get it off of turn number 2. Joe Rakowski waiting in the wings. He starts 17th, I believe. So 17th to 8th is Joe Rakowski's movement. So impressive by him. But yeah, a lot of great racing so far, Nathan.
Absolutely, and we've seen a lot of speedways up to this point, but the last 6 races are very interesting because we got Charlotte, the longest race of the season after the All-Star break, and then of course we got Michigan. That's a 2-mile speedway, unlike anything we've seen yet this season besides Auto Club. And then we got World America, New Hampshire, Pocono, and Nashville. Pocono, of course, being the regular season finale. So it's going to be very interesting on how everything plays out. And looks like, at least last lap, and yeah, it was just the last lap, it was 2 tenths faster. John Andrews was standing Local to 1, but Local to 1 might be saving his stuff here about halfway through the field one. We'll see what ends up happening with these guys, but it should be around 28 laps, maybe a lap or 2 earlier for some, maybe a lap or 2 later for some others, but it should be around lap 27 to 28. And it is really spreading out, as Duncan Wood, I mentioned that he needs a good one, and he is going to have a good one as of now, as Rakowski's going to drop on the outside lane.
Yeah, I might have jinxed him there, but looks like the spot you do not want to be is on the outside exiting of turn number 4. You see these guys have to really get out of throttle, especially if their car is tight. Then they lose all that momentum down the front straightaway. Well, not straightaway, but the front straight. But, oh man, here we go. Good racing. Jordan Edwards to the inside. Joe Rakowski's trying to get the run on the top side. He's lost a couple spots here, not looking good. Sam Vitale coming into the picture too. Sam Adio. These guys driving through the field, very impressive. But back towards the front, Rogel Dorn. Oh, looks like 34 of John Andrews has cut into the lead. He's only about a second off now, so maybe the long run setup of John Andrews is coming into play here, and Rogel Dorn may be suffering here.
It was a second and a half, and Rogel Dorn, that's the thing I was feeling. Maybe he has a short one car, and maybe he might burn up his stuff as it is down. Say about the same. I thought John Andrews close in, but I think Andrews definitely has a long one car. And like I mentioned, it's about a second and a half. Not a ton, but that is enough fall off to really change some things here late in the one. Dorns wanted to get his second one on the season one at Auto Club earlier in the year. John Andrews in second. Ian Abel in third. Matthew Hubert in fourth one at Homestead. And fifth is Duncan Wood. We might have to watch out for Duncan Wood here in the number 8 machine. Eli Blight in the sixth position. Connington in 7th, same deal in 8th. And Militant gets 4th win on the season in 12 races in the 9th spot. And as of now, same with Tolle in the 10th position. And you mentioned Stuart Brown, he's been really good at these speedway type tracks, and now he's inside the top to 15. And how about Logan Williams? He started way deep in the field, and now he's inside the top 15. As oh boy, Mark and Lopez for contact off turn 4.
That was close. I thought they were about to wreck. But, yeah, you mentioned Grattan and Williams coming up towards the front. They are really good on speedways. So, I mean, they are just carving through the field right now. They are just setting pace. I mean, we're not even halfway through this race, so they still have a shot at this thing, depending on how pit stops go and whatnot. So, yeah, we'll definitely want to keep an eye on those two. Those are heavy hitters that definitely have a shot at this thing. But looks like Rogel Dorn's lead. Now it's down to half a second. 34 of John Andrews is
he's there.
running him down. Looks like the 3 is just maybe suffering on worn tires. Maybe he just wasn't saving. He was pushing every single lap. He wore those tires out, and now he's paying a price big time. He's losing lots of time to the 34 car.
Oh yeah, definitely got the short one set up here tonight, and I will say, other than John Andrews, it looks like Unable is losing here on the long one. Same with Hubert. Duncan One might be closing in, so it looks like LCL did the flip-flop strategy with giving Duncan Wood a long one setup and giving the 3 of Local Dorn a short one setup here. But John Andrews, of course, he won the 100 points race last year at Atlanta, and that was a mile and a half. This is a mile and a half as well, and we mentioned it. It's been a slow start, but it's been a gradual uptrend for front row up to this point. And then doing tonight, Logan Williams was 5th in points, and John Andrews was 10th. And right now they are both inside the top 15. Should be seeing pit stops in around 5 laps or so. And it's going to be interesting what ends up happening, because we've seen in testing where some guys could pit as early on lap 25, and then some could pit as late as lap 30. So, I'm going to put you on the spot here with the crew chief hat. What would you do here tonight with the 5-lap gap of pit stop strategy?
Man, this is why I hired the best crew chiefs for LMC, because I don't know, to be honest, but I would honestly do the shortcut or the undercut. I think that's going to prove to be very good for these drivers. They're going to make up time in that short run. They're going to get fresh tires early and be able to maybe hold off the guys who get tires later on. So I would undercut, do that strategy, especially if you're the 3 car. He seems to be suffering. Even the 11 car, he's lost a few spots now. So those guys should probably pit earlier on. We'll see what strategy they implement, but yeah, I say undercut's a strategy. What do you think, Nathan?
Honestly, I kind of like the John Andrews strategy, because it's going to be a long one to the middle of the race, and if you have the better tire late, it's going to be fairly late for pit stops if the stays green. The longer you stay out, maybe the less fuel you would need to take, and that could really be a determining factor on who ends up winning this one. Andrews looks like he did what he wanted to do. He wanted to catch up to Dorn, and now he's just pacing himself and maybe figuring out on what he wants to do here. If he wants to do the undercut or the overcut on his number 3. But these two, even though Dorn got caught by John Andrews, they still have a 3-second lead over 3rd place. So as of now, it could come down to Andrews and Dorn for this race win here tonight. It's like no one has came down pit road yet, but it should be open at any given time. And it looks like the top 2 are going to stay out here. And I'm really liking John Andrews here. He's won at my house before, and he might get the job done here tonight as well. Gonna look at the field, see if anyone is pitting, and it looks like that is not the case. So it looks like they are going with a little bit of the longer one here than expected. Juan Garcia with a bad one deep in the field for that 48 machine. And it looks like that is exactly what they're doing. Going to be doing the overcut and extending it as long as possible. John Andrews getting a little bit tight in the aero wake of local Dorn. And still no one's pinning down yet. Very interesting to see, but surely next time by should be when these guys pit. And so far a normal race here at Kansas Speedway, but it's been all local Dorn in this one.
Yeah, one thing I've noticed is, looks like they are going to be pitting. 34, it looks like he checked up. Yeah, 34 is pitting, John Andrews. So that's interesting. He's going to pit before Rogel Dorn. Looks like Samadillo in the back is pitting as well. I believe that was him, yes. And also Stuart Grant, I think, yes. So these guys doing the undercut. We'll see how that works out. Can John Andrews, I assume he'll be able to get the lead after these pit stops cycled through with the fresh tires he'll be able to get early on. But we'll see. Are they pitting now? Rogel Dorn pitting, yes. Here we go.
That's exactly why I would do pit a lap later compared to the driver that we're competing for the race win as of now. And here we go, lap 30. Looks like it's going to be a busy pit road. Wachowski and Monaco stay out. So that's why he had a problem. So he's going to be staying out. Crampton and a few others. But a busy pit road on lap number 30. These guys have to be very careful here. Make sure that there's no contact. It's a fairly wide pit road, so it should be fairly decent. It looks like that is the case here. And it was Rogel Dorn's teammate and Duncan Moore that stayed out last lap. And same with Wachowski, Eric Monaco, Alexander Woe, Brad Ream, Travis Crampton, Noah Clifton, Justin Zidell staying out the longest here. And that's going to be interesting because now that's going to mean that I think it's going to be around lap 60 for these guys to pit. And that would be fairly late in this race if it stays green all the way. And that's going to be very interesting on that point. But it looks like it should be John Anders, and it is. Anders with the undercut. He's going to jump out to a big lead over Wogeldorn in second here. And that's going to be interesting on how everything plays out on the long one here. And how about Grant and CMD? They're going to gain some spots on pit road, I believe, as well. And Crampton, Monaco, Watkowski, they are just now leaving with the overcut. Have to be a little bit careful there with Monaco and Low. But everything's going to cycle out, and it will be the number 34 of Johnny who's going to have a massive lead over the field.
Yeah, very impressive by the crew chief for the 34 to get on pit road early on, get fresh tires, and now he has a healthy lead over the 3-car of Rogador in almost 2 seconds. So obviously the 3 has fresher tires, so we'll see how much he can close in throughout this run. Will the 11 be able to close in as well? C14, I believe he's a lap car.
Yes,
but
he is.
Yeah, so San Medeo, he pitted early, so he's probably going to be suffering a little bit compared to the rest of these guys. He's on older tires, only 1 lap though, so not too much. Oh, that's a hard hit. 14, Varga into the wall. He is not having a good stretch of races. His struggles continue, but hopefully these guys can get by him cleanly. Looks like they will. The 8-car of Duncan Ward, he's probably on fresher tires, I assume, so he's looking to get by San Medeo in a quick manner. Same with Hubert, he's looking to the inside of the lap car of Varga. But yeah, looks like I don't think Rogador actually lost time last time by to the 34 of John Andrews. He lost time again. He lost 2 tenths. So I don't. Interesting. I thought Rogador would have maybe that short run set up and be able to close in really quickly, but doesn't look like it, Nathan.
Yeah, maybe they did some adjustments and they were like, hey, let's do what John Anders did and let's try and have a long one set up in as, oh my goodness, this is getting really antsy in the back half of the top 10. And looks like Sam Leo's going to get around the 14, and that's why I said at the top of the show, sometimes turn 4, it closes in fast, and that's what happened in the 14. A rough stretch of races for that 14 machine. Sustry, I think, is still out there on old tires, base up weapon fairly early on, and this could be fairly sketchy here, especially if Sustry goes down pit road, and it looks like he is right in front of Kennington.
Oh man, I feel bad for Kennington there. He doesn't look like he lost too much time though. Luckily he didn't blow a tire, but yeah, we see Stuart Grant, Aaron Abel. I'm not sure when those guys pitted. Actually, Stuart Grant, I think, undercutted, from what I remember, yes. So he's probably going to be trying to hold on in the later half of this run. Aaron Abel. Then we got the 8-car of Duncan Ward. So all these guys look like they're sort of just settling into this run, trying to see if Rogador closed in just about the same gap. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, looks like the 34, maybe he was just suffering in the dirty air of Rogador that last run, and maybe he's just quicker than a 3-car. So yeah, we're gonna see if anybody has anything for this this car of John Andrews.
It's now a bad time for me to say that we still have enough time to have a caution. We've seen it this year where we've had some mechanical failures. We've had a ton of the Weatherline World Cups. Don't even get me started with that. But we've not had that many issues, but we had a couple. And so far, oh, well, we are on the caution. I want to say that.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness, that's the point lead of Jordan Edwards. And Alexander Wall, the Talladega winner. You gotta be kidding me. I staple jinxed it into existence. I knew it. I knew I was gonna make that happen, and we are under caution for the first time tonight, and we're barely on the edge of the fuel window, but they should be able to make it from here.
I can't believe that. I can't stop laughing. I mean, I think that might be.
I don't understand.
That might have been the worst jinx I think I've ever seen. That was like immediately right after you said that. So, yeah, a tough break for a 9-car, and who else was involved in that?
Alexander Wall, the Talladega winner from a couple weeks ago.
Man, yeah, that's rough. I don't know what happened there. We'll have to see. But these guys, like you mentioned, coming down pit road, you said that they'll most likely be able to make it with 28 laps to go. There'll be some caution laps too, so I'm assuming these guys can make it like you said, but you never know. We thought that they could make it at Phoenix, I think it was, or we thought they couldn't make it at Phoenix and they made it. So you never know with NR.
And we thought they could make it at Rockingham, and Grand didn't. So
right, yes. So you never know. Hopefully these guys can.
Oh no!
I was just about to say, hopefully have a clean pit road, and that happened. So hopefully the 34 is okay.
Oh, Stuart Grand with a good pit stop. Logan Williams with a good stop. Joe Kowski, you know what? There was not a lot of laps after that pit cycle the first time. Maybe we had some strategy here.
Very interesting. I love to see that.
We might have had some strategy, and oh yeah, we definitely did. Look at that, a lot of 6-second pit stops. So I think a lot of either fuel only or tire or 2 tires, and that's gonna be very interesting. So it's gonna be interesting if John Andrews having right side damage now, and seeing if that affects him. But how about Logan Williams? He's still deep in the field, and now he has a shot at going 2 in a row at Kansas on 2 totally different configurations of Kansas as well. But Stapleton said I don't think it was a mechanical failure, but I think it was a wreck. So just a natural wreck. We're going to wait around the 17, and we will get back to a late race restart in the second half of this one in the Textron Aviation Formula at Kansas Speedway. Well, here we are. This will bring out the first caution of the night, and we don't want to be the point leader right now in the JBL Cup Series. Jordan Edwards was the point leader. He lost it. He gained it back after Knoxville, and now after the first cycle, he gets a little bit tight off turn 4. We mentioned this at the top of the show. Turn 4, the car gets tight. Got into the outside wall just a little bit. And nowhere to go for Joe Wachowski. That's kind of a racing deal because the 9 went down after hitting the wall. And Wachowski didn't really think he was going to get into that outside wall, I think. A little bit of a nudge from Fitzwater in the back. And watch out, this is going to be a hit. We dug up the data, and Alexander Lowe hits Jordan in the right rear or the left rear at 186 miles an hour, didn't get off the brakes, full throttled into the number 9, and didn't even try turning. So, I don't know what happened there. We appreciate the data from the JBL Cup Series officials, but tough way for Alexander Lowe. He won that Talladega, was in the wild card fight, and now I don't know how much he will be in the contention now after that one.
So here's the full speed replay of what happened. This is going to hurt. 9 car obviously gets tight off the corner, hits the wall. Rakowski just nowhere to go really. Gets into the 9 sliding, and then the 41. Man, just a violent hit. Might have been the hardest hit this season. I mean, he had a lot of time to slow down, hit the brakes, let off, avoid the car, but he just ran into the driver's side door of the 9 car. So don't know what happened, but you hate to see it, and hopefully the 9 car and Jordan Edwards is okay.
Yeah, luckily this is a video game, so he is fine, but that car might be done. Especially with getting hit 186 miles an hour in the left rear. That rear part of the car, so that might be done. But there's gonna be interesting of what ends up happening here on the restart, and we'll see what ends up happening with John Andrews as the race leader following the first crash of the night. Welcome back to Kansas Speedway after the first caution of the night with our point leader of Jordan Edwards. The other Kenny Dunn would be the point leader, and then Alexander Lowe as well. You saw what happened. John Andrews is still the race leader. He has a little bit of right side damage with contact with Eric Monaco with a very busy pit road. It would be Andrews, Stuart Grant, Logan Williams, Aaron Abel, Matthew Bukowski, Dylan Matthews, Sam Badillo, Ward, and Butler inside the top 10. They should be good on fuel, and we will have 24 laps to go in race 12 of the season. Oh boy, man. Here we go. N R2003 gets third win on Speedways here this season.
Front row motorsports getting teamed up here. Looks like Aaron Abel is going to pass both of them. What is the damage that John Andrews has on the right side? Is that going to hinder him the rest of the race? We saw him make contact in pit road. He has scrapes on the right side. 38. Logan Williams losing spots on the outside. You saw him get really tight. Joe Rakowski's going to pay the price too. Get stuck behind him. Aaron Abel, though, looking for the lead on the inside of Stuart Grand.
How about this? Joe Gibbs Racing has been very consistent this season, but they've not been able to get a win since the crash, and I believe we are back under caution again for the second time, and able to win the race back to the line, and this time it's Noah Clifton in the number 99. Oh no, and the 4 of Kenneth Miller.
Some heavy damage. I wonder what happened there. Race back, looks like everybody will be getting back cleanly, but cautions be cautions, Nathan.
And this is all my fault. I staple jinxed it, not with mechanical failures, but still with Rowe and Jordan Edwards, and now Clifton and Kenneth Miller. That's the upgrade for the 4, because we saw in the caution he did a long pit stop and probably took 4 tires when everyone else took 2 tires, so that could have worked out for him on the long one, but it's not going to here tonight. And been an up and down season for Stuart Racing, and a bad night especially here tonight, but a great restart from Aaron Abel. As I was talking about him, this team has not won since the clash with Nick Lopez, but they've been so strong, like Juan Connington, like Aaron Abel. Barnett is starting to get some momentum, and same with Nick Lopez. So who knows? Maybe they can still a race win, a points win here tonight with Aaron Abel. But it's gonna be another restart. Let's go ahead and see what happened for the second caution of the night here in the Textron Aviation 400. Here we go. This happens to bring out the second caution of the day shortly after the first one, and it's kind of a copy and paste, but kind of not. This time, Noah Clifton tried getting to the inside of Anthony Hernandez off turn number 4, and this is just a tight pull on the racetrack, and Hernandez with a little bit of a tap into the outside wall into Noah Clifton, and these two go down the racetrack. Oh, Miles is there, and he's gonna finish off Noah Clifton, gonna go sideways on the apron, and that's gonna help Clifton get it back straight, but there's nowhere to go for Kenneth Miller, but hard into the back end of a slowed down number 99, and the 14 got a piece of it as well. So a bad night for Stuart Racing, and a couple of big hits for Noah Clifton right there from the rear end and the front end. And it's been an up and down season for this number 99 team for Noah Clifton this season, and it's been a couple of bad races for him, and it's gonna be a bad wreck for that number 99 team. Go ahead and take another replay and get back to the restart here at Kansas Speedway.
So here is the full speed replay of what happened in the wreck. Anthony Hernandez just gets tight off turn 4. We saw this earlier. Gets into the wall. Clifton nowhere to go, and then 31, Von Miles gets into him. Starts to save it, and then gets hit by the 4 of Kenneth Miller. Hard hit into the outside wall for Clifton. He's got big damage to the 4 car as well. Luckily, no one else was involved, but yeah, just racing deal off of turn number 4.
Yeah, racing deal once again, and that's a tough play for Kenneth Miller, because we saw in the other part where he took 4 tires, so he might have been something to watch out for if this race stayed green. Well, fortunately, never mind for Kenneth Miller in the number 4, but that's going to set us up for a fantastic restart towards the end, and unable trying to get his first win of the season. But he has some heavy hitters behind him, like John Anderson, Stuart Grand, Matthew Hubert, and some drivers that need good ones, like Dylan Matthews as well. So it's going to be a fantastic restart. Let's see on who wins here tonight underneath the lights at Kansas Speedway. Welcome back to Kansas Speedway, and we had a nice long green flag going to start, and well, things are getting interesting here. In this one, tough play for Noah Clifton and Kenneth Miller to bring out the second caution of the night, and things are getting interesting. Unable out front, John Andrews, like we've been saying, has a little bit of right side damage that might have affected him at the start of the last restart. We'll see what happens this time. Stuart Brown in 3rd, Matthew Hubert in 4th. Dylan Matthews with a great one here tonight, definitely needs it. Inside the top 5, Duncan Ward, Marlon Cunnington, and Miller still has a shot at his 4th win in 12 races. Same with Dio, and Logan Williams rounds out the top 10. And also some great ones just outside of it, inside the top 15. It's been a crazy night, and we are not done yet. 18 laps to go here at Kansas Speedway, with unable to make his first win on the season in a great restart for the Interstate Batteries Toyota Camry. Oh my goodness.
Guys are going after it on the restart. Great start by Aaron Abel, but Kennington might have an even better start. He's looking to the inside of Hubert, trying to get to Stuart Grattan. You see the 7 of Dylan Matthews suffering on the outside lane. He's stacking up people. Looks like he's stacking up to 8 to 77. Stuart Grattan to the inside of the 34 of John Andrews, trying to take second place. Mentioned him at the start of the broadcast, and here he is, second place, with about 17 laps to go for a shot to win.
Oh, he might have a really good shot to win. What a 1-1 and 2 from Stuart Grattan trying to get his third win on the season here tonight, and it could be a scenario where Andy Miller and Stuart Grattan might become the big 2. As well, speaking of Andy Miller, he's up into the 4th spot. But how about Eric Monaco, that 16 in that white and orange Celsius machine? He's had a lot of good ones going, but he's had a lot of bad luck that ended those good ones. He's inside the top 5 late, but Grattan is closing in fast for unable for its race lead.
That was a great set of corners by 47 to Stuart Grattan. He's in a close to the bumper of Aaron Abel. Aaron Abel trying to hold on. He sees the 47 in his mirror. He knows how dominant that 47 has been this season, but he gets a good run off of turn number 4. He's going to extend that lead now. Back here at 16, you mentioned Eric Monaco having a great run. He needs it. 3-car of Rogel Dorn making his way back to the front. Great to see that. Oh, great battling back here. Hubert looks like he's getting bumped out of the way, maybe by the 12-car of Alex Sanvitale. But back to the front. Stuart Grattan still trying to pass the 11 of Aaron Abel.
I think the 47 is better in 1 and 2, and I think the 11 is better in 3 and 4. And don't look now, we've not seen him all night long, but Anima is inside the top 3 late with a shot to get his 4th win. And we saw early on, Local Dorn had a good short run car. Maybe he has a short run car when it's getting inside the top 4. This is going to be some great stuff, knowing that these guys don't have to pit anymore, and they can just race out towards the end. And I don't think anyone really has the dominant car, but he has Miller. Andy Miller with a great one off of turn number 4, and he might have a 1 on the 2nd place spot. Not quite. And he can go 1 through 1 and 2 side by side for 2nd.
Andrew Miller having a heck of a run so far. He's won 2 of the last 3 races. He's great at speedways. Here he is, 2nd place now, running down the 11 of Aaron Abel. Impressive by the 21 car. He's been basically the show all season, along with Stuart Grattan, with 3 wins on the season, and he's looking to get a 4th here at Kansas. Oh, he had a bad turn 1. That's going to allow the 3-car of Rogel Dorn to close in and maybe get the spot. Not yet, but these guys are really going after it, all out. Race to the finish here, Nathan.
Oh yeah, this is fantastic stuff. Gonna be 11 laps to go at the line. And you mentioned that Andy Miller has been so strong this season, but this is not gonna be easy for him. He's got to beat Abel, and he's got to beat possibly one of the best short run cars all night long. The Local Dorn back into the mix again. Like a 2nd Cup win here tonight. Gonna get to the inside of Andy Miller. Gonna try to get past Abel, but Abel has a strong car up for him. He's been around 3rd or 5th all night, but ever since he took the lead, he has a strong car. Still side by side for the 2nd place spot. Miller on the outside, he's gonna lose that, and he's gonna maybe lose to 3rd from Stuart Grattan. Top 4 might be some of the best drivers this season. 2 of them are rookies, 2 of them are veterans, battling out with 10 laps to go at Kansas Speedway. If things get chaotic, do not count Eric Monaco and maybe even Kennington as well. In 5th and 6th, doing with a good one down the backstretch. He might have a 1. He's going to try and make it stick on the bottom, side by side for the race lead. He can sometimes get 1 in 3 and 4, but Abel's not going to get there. Almost contact, going to the race lead.
That was a great pass to the inside of Aaron Abel. Rogel Dorn to the lead here at Kansas Speedway, but it's not over yet. We still got Stuart Grattan, Andrew Miller. Oh, he might have given him the bumper. Man, these guys have been so good this season. Now they're going after it here in the closing laps at Kansas. This is amazing racing. Can the 21 keep up with the 3-3? Looks really strong. He's starting to gap these guys as they're battling. 47, it got tight. He's going to suffer the consequences on corner exit. Aaron Abel back to the inside. I want to mention Aaron Abel. If he wins this race, he's going to be in the All-Star race, his last chance, assuming he doesn't get enough points. So we'll see what happens there, but his chance is slipping away. Stuart Grant suffering. He's losing spots to the 16, and looks like Kennington's going to get by. This is crazy, Nathan.
Fantastic stuff, and you mentioned that Aaron Abel needs a win to get in. I believe Monaco as well. And fantastic stuff. And I will say at one point, oh my goodness, we had a slow car, the 99 right in the way of the leaders there. That was close into the front stretch. At one point when it was Dawn, Andrew Miller, and Stuart Grant, it was second, third, and fourth, all battling for it. Now we got second and third battling. And if things get wild, we cannot count this number 11. Or the 16, Eric Marco, I don't know, he needs a win to make it into the All-Star race. How about Local Williams? He's so deep in the field tonight. 5th in points, and now he's up front. We have 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, all up front inside the top 5 late. Or just outside the top 5 late with 5 laps to go.
This is crazy. Andrew Miller, looks like he's losing a little bit of time with Logan Dorn. I thought he was, 38 car. Logan Williams is trying to make the top line work around Kennington. Looks like he'll not get the run off, but yeah, this is crazy. Kennington looking to the inside of me with 16 of Eric Monaco. Andrew Miller trying to race his heart out, get to the 3 cars bumper. He had a good set of corners, it looks like. He's going to close it into the bumper of the 3 car Logan Dorn. The only person we're missing up front is Jordan Edwards, and he obviously crashed out, but he's the only one up there in points. 21 of Andrew Miller looking to the inside off of turn number 2.
Andrew Miller trying to get his 4th win in 12 races. Dorn trying to get his 2nd in 12 races, and 2nd and want to move from Andrew Miller to the race lead. That's going to allow maybe these two to close in. How about Monaco, though? It looks like he's going to steal a good one when we've not really seen him all night long. Dorn's going to have another shot, though, here into turn number 1. We have 2 of the best drivers this season. Andrew Miller finally having a breakout season for, I believe, a 5-season veteran. And then Monaco Dorn has been one of the best rookies this season. This might be a 1v1 battle here at Kansas Speedway, but a great 3 and 4 from Andrew Miller.
Yeah, that was an impressive set of corners by the 21 car. 3 car just couldn't really roll the center. He looks like he had to check off the throttle, but still not over. 3 laps to go. 3 car just needs to settle in, lock back in, and maybe he could run down his 21. Still a lot of time left. I don't know, though. 21 just looks really strong in clean air.
Might have a shot. We've seen it all night long. One mistake, and honestly, all it takes is one good one, and either 1 and 2 or 3 and 4, and you can be right back in. Local Dorn is still in fighting distance here. Local Dorn is going side by side for the 4th position with Eric Monaco. And looks like Local Dorn is going to try and close in here. He is a little bit, but it's not going to be enough at this rate. He's going to have to really send it here in 3 and 4 to try and set somebody up on the final lap. Dorn and Andrew Miller 2nd and 3rd in the point standings. Meanwhile, Local Williams is inside the top 5, but is the power 1 to go. What a race this has been. And it is not over. Dorn for a great one off of turns 3 and 4. He's going to have a shot into 1 and 2. He's going to try and get in as much as he can. Gains a little bit. He's going to have a shot into turns 3 and 4. This is not over yet. Not over yet. Dorn for the draft. He needs a good 1 through 3 and 4. Miller's going to want the bottom, and that's going to seal it. Andrew Miller. Well, Wachowski from last year, this year is Andrew Miller. Not by much as Dorn got 1 late, but Andrew Miller is going to win yet again. His 4th win on the season, I believe 3rd win in the last 4 races for this number 21 team.
Very impressive by Andrew Miller and everybody on the 21 team. Ryan Durrani, obviously the owner of Wood Brothers Racing, just impressive. He's finishing a top 2 in 4 of the last 5 races. Just an insane run by this team. He has the field's number right now. Everybody's chasing that 21 car, and it's impressive what he's been able to do here at Kansas, especially with all the heavy hitters at the front. He came out on top.
Absolutely, we had so many heavy hitters. We had basically 5 out of the top 7 up front late in that race. in the middle, local Dawn, Stuart Grant, Logan Williams, Walt Kennington, Sam Deal was outside the top 10. But what a race here at Kansas Speedway, and I don't know what we can do to stop this 21. He wasn't really that dominant tonight, but he was up front when it mattered and wins yet again. But I feel so bad for local Dawn. He looked like he had the short one car, but didn't have the long one. Feel bad for John Anders. Looks like he had the long one, but had that pit road issue with Monaco. And of course, feel bad for Jordan Edwards. Animal was only 3 points behind Jordan Edwards for the point lead entering tonight. And I think it's safe to say that we will have a new point lead of Animal here tonight. But what a race here at Kansas Speedway. Only 2 cautions. Fantastic racing. And Andrew Miller, he might have won, but local to one, he was good in 3 and 4 late. And he almost got there at the line. Unable to fake much needed 1 and 3rd. Eric Monaco also a much needed 1 and 4th. Finally has good speed, and he finally gets a good one. Logan Williams a top 5, Stuart Grant and 6th, Kennington and 7th, Hooper in 8th. How about Sam Vitale? He was 12th on the point standings, and he might not need that wild card, at least as of now at St. Kansas, with a top 10 and John Anders. What could have been for him? He gets 10th, Duncan Wood 11th, Matthew Burnett. That's what I mean. He's quietly getting better. We didn't see him all night long, and he gets the top 15. Juan Garcia, he was deep in the field late early on, and he gets a good one. Jordan Stout, Nick Lopez, Zachary Fitzwater, Wyatt Wilkinson out of nowhere with a top 20. Sam Deal dropped late. Eli Bright, Barlow, Watkowski dropped late. There's just so much movement all night long, especially with these restarts. It is chaotic here at Kansas Speedway. And then, of course, unfortunately, some drivers had a tough night than others. Clifton and Sustride 1 lap down. Kenneth Miller, Jordan Edwards, and Alexander Rowe all in the garage in this one. And well, unfortunately, thanks to Amanda Miller, there's going to be some big names that are going to have to be in the All-Star Open. But I think Jordan Edwards should be able to be in. And then I believe Sam Dio might. I don't know actually. It's going to be close. And Abel needed a good one. He could get in if he's top 10 in points. But what a night here at Kansas Speedway. We might have just found a version to stick with here finally at Kansas after 6 seasons of trying. But what a race here at Kansas.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I definitely think you should stick with this motto of Kansas. I mean, that was just amazing racing all throughout. Obviously, the cautions probably helped bunch things up, but I still think regardless of the long green flag runs, we had great battles, side-by-side racing, 3 wide at times, close quarters racing that you just want to see in a race. So I think this was amazing. Great runs by everybody. Aaron Abel, his first top 5 since Las Vegas. Eric Monaco, I believe his first top 5 of the season. So just new names at the front, but also new names going against the people topping points. So just a crazy, hectic race. And I was happy to be able to call it, Nathan.
Oh yeah, it's always a pleasure, and yeah, another race for you in the booth, and another fantastic finish. And it's been Andrew Miller all season long with 4 wins, but like you said, the parity though is still there. Monaco was 28th in points, and he gets his first top 5 of the season here tonight. So it's still tight, but right now the momentum is on Andrew Miller, and he's gonna take that all the way into the All-Star break next week for the Open and All-Star race. And then after that, it's one of my favorite races of the entire season, the Coca-Cola 600 100 laps at Charlotte Motor Speedway. And we'll see if Miller can get his 5th win on the season over there. But tomorrow is the Krispy Kreme National Series. We flopped it, so go out at Pikes Peak tomorrow in the Krispy Kreme National Series. And then next weekend, it will be the All-Star Open and the All-Star Race at Newsom Motor Speedway for the JBL Cup Series. And of course, the winner this year will get a automatic reserve into this fall's Richard Hardwood Stadium Shootout. So, trying something different, but it's going to be fun. Thanks for the LT for joining me up here in the booth. Congratulations to Andrew Miller on a fantastic race win and his 4th win in 12 races. We will see you guys next week for the JBL Cup Series for the All-Star Night on NS Racing 97. The points are coming out at the end of the video, and good night. from Kansas Speedway.